Hello and welcome to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Grand Arena Championships Season 22, Week 4, Round 1. My name is Boma Fett. I'm currently 9-0 after a very lucky win last round. Let's see who my opponent is this round. The Beej. Let's go to the hotbot for a quick comparison. Alright, so the hotbot shows a lot of green on my side and just a sprinkling of red on the Beej's side. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. In this top section, we can see that the Beej is a very good GAC player and is very offense focused. Now the best score is a little bit low, being under 50k. Lifetime banners of 716 is solid but not outstanding. 394 undersized. Honestly, guys, I don't care about undersized. Undersized is just how willing you are to take a risk. Some people are very averse to risk, but it doesn't make them a bad player. Clears of 124, that's almost 100 less than mine. Could be a little bit higher. What makes me say that the Beej is very offense focused is the ratio here of offensive wins to defends. Over 2,000 offensive wins is very good. 375 defends is very low. In fact, it's half of mine. This ratio here, defends to offensive wins, this is about 18%. That's a very low percent, and it tells me that the Beej is an offense-focused player, and I probably will not see a very good defense. The roster summary says that my galactic power is about 100,000 more than the Beej's, but the Beej has a higher top 80 and top 65 GP. I've got 18 more Zetas and a whole lot more speed at the top of my roster. The Beej has 6 more Gear 13s, I have 7 more Gear 12s, I've got 19 more Gear 11 and above. I've got nearly 60 more 6-dot mods, and I have a whole lot more mods with high-speed secondaries. Those 6 more Gear 13 characters gives the Beej over 30 more total relic levels. But I will say that the Beej is one of the few competitors that I've had recently who keeps a lot of their characters at tier 1 to 3 the same way that I do. This allows us to build a little bit more depth on our roster, rather than inflating our GP with lots of higher relic tiers. The meta character section shows that we each have a galactic legend. I have Jedi Master Luke. He has Sith Eternal Emperor. I also just unlocked Commander Ahsoka Tano, but you can see she's only Gear 11. There's nothing unusual here in the key characters and important ships. Neither one of us has the Executor, but we both have the other 2 ships. The one thing I notice is that I do have faster speeds on all my characters, but that is to be expected given the statistics we just saw before. So let's go back to the game and take a closer look at the Beej's roster. So not surprisingly, the Beej is using Sith Eternal Emperor in the arena and the Negotiator in the Fleet arena. Here are the Beej's relic characters, and you are going to see a lot of Empire and a lot of Sith because of Sith Eternal Emperor, but we also have Separatist droids, we have a Darth Revan squad, we have some bounty hunters, we have some rebels. He does have Jedi Knight Luke, so we've got all the rebels needed for that. We've got a good 501st squad, good General Grievous squad, good Padme squad, good Jedi Knight Revan squad. All of those main squads that you expect to see reliced up are reliced up. So what do we have that's a little bit under-geared on this roster? At Gear 12, we've got the B-1 Battle Droid, we've got Bosk, General Hux, some of the Geonosians. At Gear 11, we've got Emphas Nest, Moff Gideon, 3PO and Chewie. At Gear 10, we've got Kylo Ren, R2-D2, Sith Trooper, Bounty Hunter Mando. At Gear 9, we have Sion and Traya, Wheel, Resistance Hero Poe. At Gear 8, we've got Darth Nihilus, IG-11, Kylo Ren Unmasked, Mon Mothma, Resistance Hero Finn, and Beskar Mando. All the way down at level 1 Gear 1, we have the Bad Batch. So there are a few factions that are a little bit undergeared, but overall I would say the Beej has done a very good job of roster construction. Not a lot of holes here. Now, I was expecting a light defense, and so I thought that would give me the opportunity to set a very heavy defense, but when it actually came time to set my defense, I wimped out a little bit. So let's take a look at the board. We're actually into the attack phase, and the Beej has attacked. So they started in the bottom zone here. He cleared the Bosk and the Grievous and then lost to General Skywalker. This is a squad I don't often put on defense. It's nice to see it get a hold when I do. So he took a break for a few hours and then he came back. And I think that, as often happens, you have a plan in your head, but you need one thing to go right before you can go on to the next thing. And so that one thing was, he needed to come up to this top zone, and he needed to make sure that he could clear this Padme with Cat. And he did in one shot. Once he had done that, he was able to come back to this bottom zone and clear Skywalker. That opened up the back, and I hid my Galactic Legend back here. I was hoping he might use his Sith Eternal against Gas and then have nothing to clear my JML, but apparently that's not what happened, because he one-shot JML and then one-shot Kylo Ren Unmasked and the Night Sisters. So he has stopped for now, but I don't know if he's actually done. He has been attacking sporadically. So he attacked once, took a break, came back, attacked again. He's probably just taking another break. Probably wants to see what I do against his defense. So let's take a look at that defense. In the top zone, we've got a Bosk squad, Grievous, and Dooku, and this is a pretty tough-looking Dooku squad. We've got relics on Dooku, Jango, and Sidious. So this is a tougher squad than you might think when you hear someone say Dooku was on defense. The other thing is, this was not in his GAC history. This is a surprise squad. So I'm actually fortunate that I chickened out a little bit on defense and saved more for offense. In the bottom zone, we've got Karth, we've got Geonosians, and Hux. I'm going to switch over to my phone and make my attacks. Alright, we are going to start in the bottom. And I actually had a little bit of a conundrum here. That is, the squad that I was going to use for Hux, I am now going to use instead for that Dooku squad that I wasn't expecting. So that means I needed to come up with something new for Hux. And of course, Hux prevents turn meter gain. So what do I do here? What's a squad that doesn't rely on turn meter gain? And the answer is, I don't have a good one that I would want to use here. Instead, I'm actually going to use my CLS. And yes, CLS does rely on turn meter gain, but this is such an undergeared squad that I think I should be able to just burn through Hux very quickly and then burn through the rest of the squad. I'm actually tempted to go undersized here. Maybe I'll save C-3PO and I can use him with my Jedi Training Ray squad. Alright, we'll shoot Hux first. And there's red with the counterattack and red with the death. Now let's go ahead and go after Kylo. Let's see if we can get a stun here on Unmasked or just kill him. Looks like I'm a little short on protection on 3PO and Chewie. 61 banners. Against the Geonosians, I'm going to take Palpatine and Vader. This would actually be the perfect time to use my bounty hunters, but they're on defense. Force Crush. Merciless. Get rid of the Spy. Ability Block. Ability Block. Force Crush. Get rid of the Alpha. Ability Block or Kill. We'll push back their turn meter. I keep having to hit the brute here, and he keeps counterattacking. We will swap this to Vader, and we'll do Merciless again. We'll throw this at Sunfac. And 61. It looked like Gideon was short on protection there, but it was bonus protection. I really wish that they would change the way that that's shown, because it's really difficult to tell whether you're missing protection or bonus protection or what. Against this Karth squad, I am going to go with my Bad Batch. Do this. And let's see if we can get some stuns. Everybody but Mission, it looks like. AoE. Let's go for some more stuns. There, we got Mission, finally. We'll do this. And there we go, 60 banners. Bad Batch is a really good squad, even under-geared. Alright, in the back we have a Jedi Training Rey squad, and the whole squad is under-geared other than Rey. We have a Mothma squad, where several are under-geared except Lando. And a Kira squad. Okay, I'm going to take a few minutes to plan for this, and then I'll come back and continue my attacks. So once again, I had a recording snafu with my voiceover. This time, my cable came detached from my microphone, and I didn't notice. So you're getting voiceover after the fact for the rest of the match. I went up to the top zone, and I decided to go after Grievous first, and I took my Jedi Knight Revan. However, I actually made a change, and I swapped Revan and Bastila. I'm trying to figure out if I get better banners when I use Basti lead or Jedi Revan lead. So unfortunately, you're also not going to get any of the in-game sound. Now, even with the Bastila lead, you still play this the exact same way. You do an AoE from Revan, followed by an AoE from Yoda. And what you're trying to do is draw the B2 out so that he takes a turn and comes out of stealth, and then you can mark the B2. You want to get rid of B2 first. So I'm stuck behind the taunt right now. I give the buffs to Yoda so that Yoda can spread the buffs. But that's why you want to get rid of the B2, is Yoda could spread those buffs, and then the B2 will just wipe them right away. So here I mark the B2. Now I spread the buffs while the B2 is stunned. Call Yoda to assist. Do the big hit here from Yoda. I've almost got the B2 down. Now the big concern, other than the B2 there, okay, we get an attack from Grievous, that's a concern. But the big concern is that big hit from Droideka. When Droideka has the damage immunity, it assists a lot and it does extra damage. So I really wanted to get rid of that damage immunity. The problem was I was stuck behind the taunted Magna Guard. And there's no way around that other than Revan's Mark. Now I can use Bastila to dispel that, but the Magna Guard will just counterattack and get the taunt right back unless I get a stun. So at this point, I'm working on the Magna. I almost have it down, and then the Mark comes up. And so I mark Grievous instead of getting rid of the Magna Guard. We work on Grievous. Droideka has rolled up again and has the damage immunity again. While we're working on Grievous, the Magna Guard is being healed by the B1. So now Magna Guard has half health and half protection again, and I'm stuck behind the taunt. So I keep going after Magna Guard. Now there, that hit right there got rid of all of Old Ben's original bonus protection. And so it looked like he suddenly had full protection again. That's because all of his bonus protection was gone. Now he just took a big hit from Droideka, and that actually procced Savior. So Old Ben is again back to full health and full protection. I'm working on the B1, finally got rid of the B1. Now we get rid of the Magna Guard. And now we can finally go after Droideka. I have to wait for Bastila's Dispel to come around. We're kind of doing nothing right now. Here's the Dispel, and we get the stun. And now we take out Droideka, and we got 60 banners. I was a little surprised. It looked like everybody was a little short on protection, but that was the bonus protection that they were missing, not their original protection. It would really be helpful if they changed the way that that's displayed on screen. It's very difficult to tell. Next up is the Dooku Squad, and here I'm going to take my Darth Revan. This is a squad I had originally planned on putting on defense, and then I wimped out at the last second and saved them for offense, and I decide that I can probably go undersized here, so I take out Marauder. My Darth Revan is not the fastest in the game, but he's decently fast, so I get to go first and put Fear on everyone. Follow that up with Basti's Fear. Had to try and decide what to do with Malik. I eventually went for the stun on Dooku and got it. Then the big shock from Revan. Now the big concern here is that Jango Fett has damage immunity. And so I'm going to have to wait for him to come out of damage immunity. Luckily, the Darth Revan squad doesn't remove turn meter, so there's not really a fear of timing out like I might have with some other squads, but it is an opportunity for him to remove banners, and you can see he's doing a number on HK there. So working on Jango Fett while Newt is in stealth. And look at that, HK is holding on by a thread. Do the drain here on Jango and get rid of him. And goodbye, Newt. 56 banners is not great, but my opponent had already dropped a battle, so efficiency was not the #1 need. I just needed to get through in one shot. Against the Bosk squad, I decided to take my Jedi Training Rey, and I had saved C-3PO to go with this squad, but against the Bounty Hunters, I actually prefer R2-D2 and his stuns. I prefer C-3PO against a Karth squad. Now my primary goal with this squad is control. So R2 is going to have the first move, and I'm going to try and stun Boba Fett. I thought about Zam Wesell, but then decided Boba was the bigger threat. And then it's a matter of trying to prevent Bossk from taunting. So I do the wiggle and the wave there. I did not get the ability block on Bossk. I was a little bit worried that he would then get a taunt, but he's not a very fast Bossk. So I went then after Zam and got a stun on her while passing the Inspired around. And with the others kind of taken care of, I go after Cad Bane. I got the stun on Bossk, even more control. That allows me to continue going after Cad Bane. And goodbye, Cad. I was a little worried about Dengar throwing his thermals, but once you hit him, he goes stealth anyhow. I put the wave on him so that he would be delayed in throwing those thermals. And then I go back after Zam Wessel. The burning there put Dengar into stealth. Got rid of Zam. Next up is Boma Fett. Again, passing the Inspired around. The whole squad is inspired now. Illuminated Destiny. Goodbye, Boba. Now after Bossk. Goodbye, Bossk. And now after Dengar. So this ended up working extremely well, mostly because his bounty hunter squad was slow. 60 banners. And that opened up the ship zone. He set his Tarkin and his Home 1. So I like to save ships until the end. So I went back to the character zone. And I started here in the back with the Mon Mothma squad. I decided that my Imperial troopers should work. I was faster than they were. We would have kind of a turn meter train competition. Whose turn meter train can get going first? I really need to change up my preset squads. I've got Gideon on my preset for the troopers, and I've been using Gideon with Vader. So I really should change my preset so that I have range trooper in there instead. Now to get that turn meter train going, I need to kill somebody as quickly as possible. So Pow, I believe, was the most undergeared, and so that's who I went after. And really this is all about Dark Trooper just punching people in the face. There goes Pow. Next I go after Jin. There she goes. Next I go after Cara Dune. She does have the grenades that can stun Empire, so good to get rid of her. You can see Mothma's almost dead from AoEs, and so I do an AoE here to get rid of her. That prevents any revives. And then it's just Lando, and he doesn't stand a chance. 60 banners. Now next up was Zakira Squad, and this is definitely more of a timeout squad rather than an offensive threat. So I took in my Triumvirate, and I threw Wampa on there for some extra Wamping action. I figured I could always just draw this battle out, and Darth Nihilus would annihilate them one by one by one. Now the question going into this is, who do you isolate? There's an argument to be made for either Captain Han or Vandor to prevent them from resurrecting anyone. There's an argument to be made for Nest because she counterattacks, but with L3's auto taunt, she was the one who got the isolate. You'll see that Nest gets some counterattacks here. Luckily she is undergeared, and so she doesn't do much damage. I put the pain on everyone here. Again, a counterattack from Nest. But some good Wamping by Wampa. And goodbye Kira, for now. We go after Han to prevent the revive, but he's a thick boy. There's a stun on Traya, and there's the revive on Kira. I kill her again, but she revives automatically because Vandor was prepared. So I go back after her again, and she's right back because of the prepared. So at this point, I decide to change tactics and go after Vandor. Good counterattacking there by Wampa, held by Hatred. And then Wampa is going to get a roar, start ramping up that damage. And there you go, we got rid of Kira again, and goodbye Vandor. Now, I could just do a basic, and that would reduce my cooldowns enough that I could annihilate on my next turn, but I decided that I would reduce or increase Captain Han's cooldowns, and that way he could not do a revive. Now I isolate Captain Han, that will prevent him from reviving. And switch over to L3 and annihilate L3. With Captain Han isolated, I don't have to worry about him reviving anyone. Ramp up some more damage with Wampa. And womp womp, goodbye Captain Han. 58 banners. Now against Jedi Training Rey, I took my Geonosians. This is not a counter that I would normally do, but this is such an undergeared squad that I felt it should be no problem for my Geos to just wipe them out really quickly. Now, even undergeared, they're still going to be faster than I am, but that's okay. I go straight after Resistance Hero Finn. He's kind of the engine of the squad. He and BB-8 together. But he was so undergeared, he went down in one attack. Same thing with BB-8. Now we go after Rey, but before I can get her down, R2 hides her. So now I'm stuck going after Finn for a while. I tried to bring her out of stealth there with the middle move from the Alpha, but she had foresight, so it didn't work. So now after R2, they're getting in some hits against the Brute, and so my whole squad is a little bit short on protection. So I'm hoping that I can drag this out, and Rey's foresight actually will help a little bit with this. I'm able to get the heal, and 60 banners. So now on to the ship zone. I saved both my Negotiator and my Malevolence. So we go after the Tarkin fleet with my Negotiator first. I fast forward the ship selection process because it takes so long. I do like my ships in a certain order because otherwise the Y-Wing gets in front of Anakin's ship, and it's difficult to then select Anakin's ship when you want to. The bomber was taunting, so I had to go after the bomber. The AoE did kill the TIE fighter though, and I was able to land the buff immunity and healing immunity on the bomber. So now the taunt is gone, and he wasn't able to re-taunt because of the buff immunity. That left Vader exposed, so I was able to get rid of Vader. And now he did get the burning out, and that's a little bit annoying, but it doesn't hurt the Galactic Republic the way that it hurts the Rebels. Brought in Plo Koon for some healing. And then just went to town on the bomber, hoping to get the bomber out before a reinforcement could come in. I even did a basic there from Plo Koon in order to get the job done, and a 67. Against the home one, I took my Malevolence, and again, I will fast forward the ship selection process. Now this is a little bit of an odd comp here with the Phantom in the starting lineup. Phantom really is a great reinforcement. I'm not sure why you would put it in the starting lineup. We have a taunt from the Y-Wing, which is great. I want to get rid of the Y-Wing first anyhow before it can knock the protection off of my Hyena bomber. So we're just going all in on the Y-Wing, and it keeps doing its basic instead of doing its special, so that's great. We got the Buzz droids out. More Buzz droids on the Y-Wing, and the Y-Wing's gone. Now I bring in the Spy, and the Spy will put the taunt on the Millennium Falcon, and that lets me attack the Falcon even though it has its little curly-Q buff. So I call the Mass Assist, and goodbye Falcon. So now it's just the Phantom, but unfortunately I couldn't get it out before the reinforcement comes in. They brought in Biggs, so good to bring in a tank here. But it might have actually been even better to bring in the Ghost, because the Ghost and the Phantom have that kind of back and forth interplay. Now I end up killing Biggs here on an assist. And then goodbye Phantom. So 66 banners there, I was happy with that. And there's your final score, 2495 to 1799. The Beej actually did come back and attack again. He tried once against my Beskar Mando squad and failed. So didn't try anymore after that. This was the final, 2495 to 1799. I would like to thank the Beej for the match, and thank you all for watching. I will see you next round.